Hi, everybody. This is Sue Hall. Thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm Sue Hall. I am a certified ketogenic living coach. I'm also the founder of Slender Susie, where I offer free weekly keto meal plans, as well as 2 free Facebook groups, Keto Success Official and Keto Kids. So tonight I want to address one big question that always comes up in our Keto Kids group. And the one big question that pops up a lot is how to set the macros for a child who is going on the ketogenic journey with their parents or the low-carb living lifestyle. In general, I'm honestly not a big fan of counting macros for kids. It's the natural tendency of the parents, especially parents who are following keto, to worry about whether or not their child's getting the right amount of macros. So first off, the child's macros are not set up the same way an adult's are. They are completely different. Unless your child is following keto for medical reasons like epilepsy and seizures and different things like that, type 1 diabetes. So unless they're following it for those medical reasons, it's really a completely different situation than what I'm about to talk about. That should be handled by a medical professional. And even what I'm about to talk about now, it's always a good idea when you're dealing with changing your child's diet, make sure that you have their physician involved in your process, in your planning, in your decision making. It's always better to have them on board, or at least have them know what you're doing. So back to setting the child's macros. The average child, the nutrient ratio on a keto diet in children is typically going to be 4:1. So for every 4 grams of fat, you want 1 gram of carbs and proteins combined. So basically, like I said, for every 4 grams of fat, you're going to have 1 gram of protein and carbs. So if your child's doing keto as part of a medical program, the keto diet used by medical hospital teams might be higher in unhealthy fats, sort of like the state of regular hospital food that the adults get. They're going to use things like oil shakes, other pre-made foods with butter and heavy cream and vegetable oils that are easier for the kids. So parents really, even if you're involved in a hospital program of keto, you kind of want to closely monitor the foods, the quality of the foods that the professionals are using, and ask questions. You're the parent, ask questions. As far as whole food sources for fat and proteins, those are going to be really similar to the standard keto diet that we all follow. And you can get my keto diet food list right in our group. But since the carbs are basically non-existent on keto for kids, any carb-rich foods like bread, rice, other grains, we're eliminating all of that. We're gonna go back to those healthy carbs on a 4:1 ratio with the proteins, 4 fats. You really need to remember that the nutrient needs for children are higher than for adults. Children are pickier. It might be more of a struggle to get them to eat the right foods for the keto diet. There's a really fine line between making healthy choices for your child and being so restrictive that a healthy relationship to food dissolves. So you don't want to be completely overbearing on this. You want to have them be part of the process. Have them help you in the kitchen. Have them help you pick out some fun keto recipes like a bacon wrapped beef dog with nitrate free and all that. Have them be part of the process. That if they can be interested in it, in doing it with you, that's going to go a lot more smoothly. But at the end of the day, I'm going to recommend educating the kids on how the food affects us, empower them to make health promoting choices that they feel good about. Give them some options and let them decide and then go with that. So instead of just saying, no, you can't have that, say, hey, would you rather have this or this? Because then they're going to be part of the process. They're going to be like, oh, I picked that and mom gave it to me or dad gave it to me. At the end of the day, it's really important for healthy kids to receive great nutrition from high quality protein and high quality fat sources. And again, we want to lower the carbs. Compared to many of the kid-friendly foods that are out there, they're really high in refined carbs and sugars. And this is a really big win when you get them started on this keto lifestyle, this keto journey. But keep in mind, you know, I'm giving advice based on what works for my child. I'm not a pediatrician. I know keto. I'm certified in the ketogenic living. But what works for my son may not work for your child. And don't worry about that. In the end, you're going to be the best judge of what the optimal zone is for your own child or children. I really think that my son will live a much healthier life because of the way he eats with me and how he exercises, and we go to the gym together 3 days a week. So all of that growing up, I think that's going to lead him into a healthy lifestyle all throughout his adulthood. One day, of course, you know, he's going to have to make his own choices. And will he completely rebel against everything I've tried to teach him? You know, maybe, but I don't really think so. I really believe that the kids are a product of the examples that we are setting for them. So by setting the examples early and doing keto with these kids and having them, you know, be part of the process, we're really setting them up for a lifetime of success, of knowing what it feels like to eat good quality foods and how that feels versus when they're full on empty carbs and junk and sugar. So again, with setting macros for the kids, you want to do a 4-to-1 ratio, 4 fats to every 1 combined carb and protein. That's pretty standard for the kids on keto. So I hope that like clears it up just a little bit on how kids macros are different than adult macros and how you could go about setting them. And again, like I said, I am not a fan of counting macros for children at all. I don't really think that you need to be that strict with a child when it comes to transitioning them to this low carb lifestyle. They are, you know, they're still growing up. They're still probably going to have a hot dog with a bun at school, and they're going to have a cupcake when someone brings it, and you just don't get too hard on them. Don't be so strict. Like I said, unless it's a medical necessity, there's really no reason to be so extremely strict the way that you have to be with yourself to make keto work for you that you do with a child. So I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, you can comment below. I'll come back. I'll check comments because I know a lot of people haven't been able to jump on just yet. So I do hope that answers a lot of all of your questions. See you again next time.